When designing Machinery Manager, our goal was to take all of the elements that dealers, brokers, and distributors use and combine them into one comprehensive system, meaning that you'll be able to find everything you need over here on the left-hand navigation. You have your dashboard, equipment, contacts, quotes, leads, campaigns, and website. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the equipment section. Here you'll have a list of all of the equipment in your database. You can easily switch between all, inventory, consigned, brokered, new machinery, and more. We have a lot of great filters and a pretty amazing search, but I think the best way to give you an idea of what the system can do is actually to show you how to add a new piece of equipment to the database. So we're going to go ahead and hit this blue button, Add Machine/Tooling, and this is going to take us to the equipment creation page. And so here we're going to go ahead and put in a manufacturer, then a model, and you can see that as we type, we're getting a few suggestions here, and those are coming from the MachineTools.com database. So if I go ahead and select this model, you can see that it's also populated the type for us as well as the specifications down here. Of course, the piece of equipment you have may have slightly different specs than what's in our database. So you can go in and change each of the individual values. And you can actually take it one step further and fully customize what we call the spec template. And each equipment type will have its own spec template. So what you can do is you could actually change the names of any of these fields. You can reorder them, add new fields, get rid of fields. That way your spec sheets will look exactly how you'd like. We also have a dedicated equipped with section, so you can copy and paste any accessories or anything like that that the piece of equipment comes with. But for right now, I'm going to go up to the top of the page here so we can go through a few of the other fields. So of course the system can automatically generate a stock number for you. We have a field for the serial number, the year, condition. You can also have a custom title and description. Those are used for both the website and MachineTools.com. And then down here, we have our media section. So we really wanted to make it very easy to upload images to the system. So all you have to do is open up a folder on your computer, select a few images, and then just drop them right on the page. You don't have to downsize them or do anything like that. The system will take care of that for you. And once the images are in here, you can just click and drag them around the page so that the images show up in the order that you'd like. You can very easily add YouTube videos just by clicking this link and copy and pasting the URL. And once all of these details are entered, you can then go to the top right of the page here to the marketing channel section. And so once you're ready, you can very easily push this piece of equipment out to your website just by flipping this toggle. And you can do the same thing with MachineTools.com and Surplus Record. And the goal here is that you only have to enter the piece of equipment in once, and then you can push it out to all these channels. We also do have a dedicated salesperson field, so you can assign that there. You can also choose the ownership type, which is essentially letting the system know, is this an inventory machine? Is it brokered? Is it consigned? Is this owned by a customer? And you can also track co-owners as partners as well. So if I click this link, I can just choose a company from the database. I can put in a percentage in here, and the system will keep track of all of that for you. We also have a purchase details section, so you can put in your purchase price. You can choose the company that you purchased it from. Again, if they're not in your database, you can just click this little icon and add them on the fly. The purchase date, PO number, payment method, reference number, payment date, and purchase notes. This information is all completely private, so it'll only be seen by you. And down here, we have the pricing section. So this is where you can say, okay, I'm selling this piece of equipment for $45,000. You can choose if that price is going to be visible to the public on the website. And then you can also track additional expenses. So if we purchase this piece of equipment, but it needs some repair, we can put in the amount here, and the system will actually track all of those details. So it'll track the original purchase price as well as the expenses, and it'll give you a total cost that it will display to you at the time that you're quoting. We also have a location section that's pretty straightforward, as well as a search options section. So this actually lets you customize how this piece of equipment is going to look like on search engines. And this will really come in handy when you're doing your SEO optimization. So the next thing we'll take a look at is the contact section. Here we have a list of all of the contacts in the database. You can easily search just by typing in the first name, last name, phone numbers, websites, emails, any of that will pull up the record that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and just start typing in my last name. You can see that it pulled up the record, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then right here in the middle, we have what we call our activity log. So this is where you would be putting in your note, clicking add, and then the note gets timestamped and added here below. We also have our contact information over here on the right, the email preferences. You can also assign a salesperson with an exclusivity date. And then here we have our reminders, leads, and quotes, and we'll be going over those in more detail a little bit later. And then down here, we have our deal section. So this will actually display if this particular contact owns a machine that you have available to broker or consign. You can see any joint ventures here, as well as any machines that they own that maybe they are not selling, or anything that you've sold to them in the past. We also do have a company record as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click the company associated with this contact. And this is going to take us to the company record where we have a list of all of the contacts at the company. We have the general company information. You can assign specialties, and you can also mark this company as a dealer. That way, when you're doing an email blast, you can easily exclude them from the list if you'd like. And then down here, we have our activity log, reminders, leads, and quotes. And all of that is going to look very similar to the contact record. And the reason for this is that this page is actually just an aggregation of all of the data that you have associated with the contacts at this company. So if I were to write a note on Tim's account and also one on Sam's account, they would both show up on the company's activity log. And the same thing goes for the reminders, leads, and quotes. So the next thing we're actually going to take a look at is an example of a website that's generated from our system. So I'm going to go over to this tab. One thing I want to mention is that this website comes completely free with your Machinery Manager subscription, and it's pretty customizable, meaning that you can upload your own logo, you can match the colors to your branding, add your own additional pages, as well as customize these other sections here on the home page. If you already have a website that you're happy with, don't worry, that can be connected to our system using our APIs. But what I really want to show here is what happens when a customer makes a request on a particular piece of equipment. So I'm going to go ahead and click this category, CNC. This will show me all of the equipment in that category. I can then filter down by machine type, and then by brand, and even by specifications. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and click this Do Some. You can see all of the images and videos came over. And if I scroll down, we have the description, the specifications, the equipped with, and the system can even show you similar listings based on the machine type. And then over here on the right, we have this form that's kind of following us as we scroll. This is what we want the customers to do. We want them to go ahead and fill this out and make a request on the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and pretend that I am a customer. I'm going to enter in my details, my phone number here, and let's say I'll ask for the price of this piece of equipment. So I'm going to go ahead and hit request a quote. Back here on our Machinery Manager tab, we can see that we now have a 1 next to our lead section. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And here we can see the request that was just made on the website. So we can see the contact information, which actually automatically gets added to your database if it's not already there. You have the piece of equipment that the request was made on, as well as the message. So what we can do from here is we can go ahead and go into the lead, change the price, customize the message, and then send off the quote. Or we can just press this one button, instant quote, and the system will automatically generate and send a quote directly to the customer. And because I sent this one to myself, we can just go ahead and open up my email client, and here is the quote. I do want to mention that your customers will be able to see the quote without having to open up any attachments or anything like that. These quotes are also customizable, so you would have your own logo here. We have a few different templates, so you can really get them to look how you'd like. You can see that the quote is addressed to the contact who made the request. We have the title of the machine, the primary image, secondary images, video attachments, description, specs equipped with, and then we have the price, your signature, and the terms and conditions at the bottom. If your customer needs to print out this quote or show it to their boss, they can just click this one button, Download Print, and the system automatically generates a PDF with all of the same information, just kind of in a different form, and it looks a little bit more like a traditional quote, but it does have all of the images and details. So now let's jump back to Machinery Manager so that we can talk about campaigns. Email blasts are an extremely powerful tool that allow you to stay in touch with your customers and generate more leads. We believe that email blasts are most effective when you have a targeted contact list. So let's create one. Here in the contact section, we're going to hit the filter button, and we can narrow down our results by company specialties, location. We can exclude dealers if we'd like, but the feature I like the most is actually the equipment filters. And here we can narrow down our results by everyone who already owns, who has a wanted request for, who we've quoted, and who we've sold a vertical machining center to, for instance. Or it could really be any machine type. And you can narrow it down further by manufacturer and model as well. Once you've done that, you would just hit apply. You get all of your results right here, and then you can just select them all and then add them to a contact list. Now that we've created our list, we're ready to put together the campaign itself. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Campaigns tab. And here we're going to take a look at one that I've already put together. So it's kind of just like a lot of the other email services out there. You name the campaign, you choose the list, you can add some banner images, the subject, the subtitle, and then you're just going to add the equipment from your database. And you can do this by typing in the stock number or putting in the manufacturer and model. And when you do, the machines automatically get added to the email blast with all of their images, their titles, their descriptions, and they're automatically linked up to your website. So you don't have to kind of re-add all of that stuff from scratch. And once you add the equipment, we can see what the email blast will look like. So we're just going to hit preview. And here you can see that the system's going to automatically bring in your logo, the text that you've added, the banners that you've uploaded, and here are all of the equipment records. And if you go ahead and click one of these, it will actually take you or the customer directly to the listing on the website where they can then make a request. Of course, that request then comes in as a lead, and you'll be able to easily quote it off from there. There are really so many other great features Machinery Manager has to offer, but I just wanted to give you a quick run through of the core functionality. If you want to set up a personalized demo, please feel free to make a request, on MachineRemanager.com, or you can reach out to me directly. My contact information is linked in the video description. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this demo, and I hope to speak with you soon. Bye-bye.